Go, 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 go!
It's noticed. But I have to say, I watched their games. I watched after the fact, and for the most part, they played it almost like a clan battle format, where they had the same comp used across all the different maps. So it wasn't so much about tailoring this map to that map to whatever. It was about just running a strategy, having a plan, and
Yes.
executing it, and being done with that. So, all
By the
right,
way,
well, we're coming into the game. Go
right.
ahead.
If I could real quick mention for our viewers for the last game, and again, I apologize about not catching the ship bans. EWA banned Venezia and Rage banned Moskva, which might help explain why we saw so many Stalingrads.
Hmm.
So,
Ooh.
Oskins, go ahead and take us in with Team Green here, and then Golfman, you can hit the red.
Alrighty, CCTV2 is running an Ohio and a Kremlin. Kremlin with all that armor and the quick firing damage con is going to be kind of like a brutish brawler in mid range. And
Mm.
Ohio without that, but with a really fast cycling heal, literally half the cooldown on its heals, also going to be a brutish brawler. So we're going to see both of those taking advanced positions. There's a Golden Lion, double Des Moines, a workhorse of many a COT season, and a
Yes.
Moskva, also a Venezia. Well, that only leaves two destroyers left. That's double gearing, or sorry, a gearing and a daring. Double destroyer on a map like this with 4 points to contest. I don't know about that. What's going on the other side?
We're looking at a double Kremlin here, which is I'm very confused as to why they would do that. When we saw double Kremlin in the past, they would split them up and push aggressively in two different directions. Looks like they're sending both of their Kremlins. We might see a safe to safe push here. On top of that, we've got two Stalingrads heading out. Looks like they're going all the way to the one line.
Mm.
Meanwhile, we've got double Harugumo, double Nevsky. So there's that death snail that you were bringing up.
Mm-hmm.
However, they're not meeting up right away. It looks like one of the Harugumos is going to Delta. They are not committing anything to that 10 line. CCTV2 appears to be committing heavily to the 10 line. We're going to see, obviously, CCTV2 is going to get into position first,
Yep.
but will this move from YESCV let them turn it around?
Well, it makes sense to put a Hargumo in D because you have to send somebody at least to the D cap, to every cap really. Danilov's job is to go to D, scout it out, and not get in there and dead. Pikachu putting up the smoke there for the Nevskis, as you can see, they took the more aggressive in front of island positioning, which means if they get spotted, they get dead. So we see that smoke coming out there. And then, of course, Danilovs is going to hook. You can see him already making that hook. He's going to hook out, and then he's going to get back to the Nevskis in time for him to pop the next smoke for that Death Snail. So that's good timing there. I like how they've got that organized. Question is, what's
Yeah.
CCTV2 going to do about it?
Well, they are definitely taking the more traditional approach of having several assets, looking at D, looking to claim the 9-10 line, being able to wrap and really assert pressure. But I mean, we can see that YesCV has no intentions of holding D and has already even left it.
Yep.
Maybe using that as a bait to
Yes.
let them know, hey, you haven't seen any of us. Oh, we're contesting D. I bet we want it.
Yep.
And dragging those resources into the 9-10 line while theirs are still traversing over on the 4. The two Stalins, the
Absolutely.
two Kremlins still making their way to Bravo, but it's going to be a little bit just like we talked about before. If they're going to do a safe to safe, and this
Ooh,
is what they
Pikachu's in
pulled
trouble.
last time, it's going to take a while. He does actually take
Oof.
a torp there. That's chunking him for almost half of his health. That's quite a bit of an oof on the Pikachu.
That was a very well planned out torpedo strike there, almost as if CCTV2 might have practiced for today. Who'd have thunk it? While you were talking about that, Five Ship used the radar. Danny Loves was detected, but like I was saying, he needs to get back to smoke up the two Nevskis, so he can't really do too much other than turn back in now and get over to those Nevskis, which is exactly what's happening. Now, I was talking about the NACL Death Snail. I believe it was Pikachu who died early in that and took those two torpedoes, unfortunately. So, no comment about the player's skill. Sometimes it's just random luck, of course, that the torpedoes show up.
Well, he's taken that health damage, and it didn't spook him out of sea. He already did
Yeah.
his job. He dropped the smoke.
Yep.
Looks like Danny Loves is almost in position to be able to re-up the smoke on the Nevskis. And if we
Mm.
look, CCTV's Golden Lion is just sitting in the same spot, not even
Mm-hmm.
moving.
Mm-hmm.
Moskva's slow to move. Kremlin's actually turning back. If they had watched YESCV's match from last weekend, they would have seen this exact strategy happening. This is what I saw when I watched that match. So if they had prepared
Oh.
for it, I don't think they should be on that 9-10 line.
Mm.
They should have already moved by now. But that's going to put them a minute or two behind pace, as it looks like well done at times three's Yu Yang is already moving up, trying to get information what's going on at A.
Yep. And so that's interesting you mentioned that. And pro tip for anybody listening right now and who's part of a team for King of the Sea, make sure that you watch those battles if you guys can. Well done. Might take a torpedo here in the Yu Yang. He does right on the tip.
Oof.
Right on the tip. That's a Venezia torpedo from Hanawaz. Yes.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
CV's DD's taking early torpedoes here, and
mm-hmm.
CCTV2 has just such like just looking at the map. As someone who calls clan battles, I'm looking at the map for YESCV's team, and I'm going, they're getting encircled, they're getting surrounded. This is how you lose a game.
Mm.
The positioning play is so heavily in favor of CCTV2 right now.
Oh yeah.
Unless YESCV can bash through Alpha, they're in big trouble.
That's right. Now the Golden Lion is a siege ship, and you can see it going to C early on or D because you're expecting the team to kind of get stalled in D, which obviously is not what YesCV did.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's really standing out to me, when YesCV had played this before, they had a Ragnar. The Ragnar was running up the 2 line with those double Stalins supporting it.
Mm.
Yu Yang can't take that same fight,
Mm-hmm.
and playing much more conservatively, hanging back with the Kremlins that are cutting on an inside line instead of going up that 1-2. So they're
Mm-hmm.
pushing the pace by this, but I also have to think that as much as CCTV2 is getting that wrap, getting that position, they don't have a third destroyer. And without a third destroyer to try and blunt or throw torps in the face of a Kremlin or a Stalingrad, yes, there's some Venezia torpedoes, but they're just not going to be able to stop the push.
Right.
Uh, I don't know. The only thing I'm concerned about in terms of YesCV's side are these double Nevskys getting pushed by a Des Moines and a Moskva. Pretty soon, those guys are getting radared and under siege, and we already see shells coming out now.
Well, that's the thing, right? That death snail only works. I mean, a death snail wants the enemy to push into it, sure, but not so close that radar is a thing. And you can see these shells, like you said, coming in. Pikachu now under radar detected, so that's coming soon.tm. Here it comes.
Shells are out. Is he going to do the jukes? Haragumo is not known for having the tap dancing shoes. The shell after shell does just splash in the water around, and he is down.
Yeah.
However, the Nevskys get spotted as the smoke trail starts to fade out, which means Pikachu is a little behind the pace. That
Yes.
smoke's got to get back up there before those Nevskys start to bleed. Shells
Yes.
coming out at Operation Zero, the gearing turning out and blowing
Oh!
smoke to try to help the Moskva, but nope. One of those oofs slips through into Matsuri as
Yeah.
the Nevskys
Yeah.
have to fade back. They don't have cover right now, and they're trading open water versus a Des Moines Moskva. That's not going to go in their favor at all.
And
But we do have a
that's
Kremlin pushing A, and that's going to hurt in just a moment.
that's the problem with doing the death snail. It requires pinpoint accuracy with your precision, with your timing of everything. And unfortunately, there you saw that radar forced Pikachu to not be set up in a position. It's unfortunate because the Nevskys are paying the price for that mistake. Matsuri now taking another big whack. That time looked like it was from, I don't know, maybe the Des Moines, maybe the Moskva. Probably the Moskva.
Yeah,
Here comes another one.
Yeah, Moscow's going wide. You were mentioning how are they going to halt the SCV push? Well, they've done it. They put the daring. They got him spotted right behind that island. They've got the Venezia way far out there, and the Ohio all the way in the backfield. If that Kremlin had pushed out, if those Stalins had pushed out, they're caught in the crossfire of crossfires. So yeah, I mean, just that initial positioning advantage playing heavily in CCTV2's favor, and YESCV's still in big trouble.
Well, now it's not over yet. Look at YesCV's well done ×3 going into A, the Yu Yang. There's just that Des Moines with the radar threat there. He's got to kind of be careful about that. But if he's able to bait the radar, there it is. He goes in, he baits the radar, he's going to back away. That radar is not going to keep him detected probably long enough for the Venezia to shoot him. Let's see what happens. See, there it is. Beautiful maneuvering by well done ×3. takes a little
No,
bit,
it's the shells too.
but
Not
I
only that,
mean,
but I mean, he kept his cap points,
mm-hmm,
still holding his cap points. Ohio's
mm-hmm.
about to take a shot, and I don't think it's at the DD.
Nope.
I wonder if he actually gets that. I want to point attention right now to Operation Zero in the gearing down on the eye line. There's a huge smoke that's supposed to keep these Nevskys safe, but there's a gearing that sees right through it. Shells already coming out of the Nevskys. They've got to fade back even further, and the follow-up smoke from Danny's Love not even nearly in position to block the line of sight from that gearing. Unless
Yep.
the Haragumo goes down to brawl with him, that gearing's going to give all the information they need as the Des Moines and Moskva
Oof.
are pushing up on the
Oof.
GH line.
Delta
Oh
just
my
getting
god.
whacked in the Kremlin there, taking conga line daring torpedoes to the face.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty massive.
oh, and then Danny under detection now. He's on his way out. There it goes.
Gone.
There's our first death of the game. It took half the battle for somebody from YESCV to die, but I think we're going to see a lot more deaths pretty rapidly here as the game progresses.
Yeah, unless they're able to find kills somewhere. Yes, CV is bunkered up and they were expecting to be sieged. However, they weren't expecting to be losing the siege. You know, if you're able to
Yeah.
tamp off that water, poison the moat, people start running out of food, and then before you know it, everybody's running out of health and they're just falling over and killing each other. Kremlin of Delta after the conga line down to 25. We've got the Nevskys that are bleeding and running. Pikachu's smoke is down. He's got a while before that comes back up.
Mm-hmm.
CCTV2 is wrapping. And with the Venezia all the way in the north, the Stalingrads are even scared to poke around. I mean, a Venezia's pen's not that great, but a Stalingrad showing a broadside, Venezia could do some serious oof. Delta's going to go down. I don't think there's any way they can rescue this. If this siege keeps up, all
Mm-mm.
CCTV has to do is keep them stuck where they are, and
That's
that's
right.
going to be a CCTV2 win.
That's right.
Yeah, just
And
draw the front line here. Like, just look at the amount of map coverage that CCTV2 has. This is the
mm-hmm.
75-25 nightmare scenario for YESCV.
True. But a lot of times when teams push, of course, you lose a little bit of points. There's Pikachu trying to save Matsuri now. If Matsuri hits the stop key right now, he's gonna die to gearing torpedoes. Though he's hit the stop key. He's maybe gonna take one on the bow. He's gonna take one on the bow. Oh
And
man!
he's still affected. He didn't slow down in time. I don't think he lives.
And
I think he
he's
was shot too.
and then he's
Yeah.
shot.
And the gearing in the south opens up to say, nah, bro, we see you. And that's when the shells are going to come in. That's just a little bit of BM that's going to take out that Nevsky pretty soon with the crossfire and all the punishment coming in.
There it is.
That's going to leave Delta alive up to 21K, having a little bit of time to get the heal back in.
Yeah.
They need some really serious shells to deal with this southern push. The Des Moines of Fiship already down to 12. Des Moines not a Salem. It's got a heal, but it ain't amazing. If they can get some concerted fire, yeah. And that's the dunk, and it's even a Dutch oven one, which I think you were looking for.
Oh, I was looking for them. You better believe we're watching that on replay right now. Oh my god.
So that's going to be one more trade. It's a Des Moines for a Kremlin. The wrap continues, the siege continues, and for a little additional BM, it looks like EKF is going to step on the A cap. And unless there's a radar off a cable guy or Remu, I don't think they're going to be able to stop this. Everybody's folding in, and the guns are coming in from all directions. They got to hammer one side and try to bust out, and I don't know what that side is.
I don't think they know either.
Out.
So
I'm not seeing it.
We were talking before about there goes the Golden Lion.
Warped
Chaos is like, you know what? I want payback for my friend. But
that blows a hole though. If granted, Warp Chaos doesn't have his nose pointed in that midsection, he can't come out in the mid. But I mean, that still blows a hole in the line.
Wait a minute.
Maybe the Yu Yang can sneak around, drop some torps into somebody.
Are you telling me that this game's not over yet?
It looks pretty bad. The question is, we've had two Stalins playing safe for so long. What happens if they get their guns in the game?
So here comes the conga line on Warped Chaos. Those look good if they have the range.
Oh, buddy.
That's what I'm trying to talk about. Is we don't like to just declare a game over until the fat lady sings. And right now, well, I just say that, and there goes dunk, 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 dunk. Poor
Well, in that
guy.
case, the big daring pings, and that Kremlin just gets pingity ping pinged right off the map. That's going to be 250 points to the good over to CCTV, and they're both down both battleships. Stalingrad's unable to find real places to bite, although some shells coming into the Ohio looks like he's got a little bit of side there, but not really going to find their perch. Ultima Ratio and the Nevsky takes a few more shells, pushing back. Haraguma doesn't have a smoke for him. I think that Kremlin was the last chance. They really needed to get those
Oh, yes.
gigantic guns out there and just murder somebody. And then, he conga lined
Mm-hmm.
right into.
They needed to get all their
Daring,
guns out there, as you mentioned, and that did not happen.
no, Daring showed his dead golden lion buddy that he is the ultimate anti-camper.
And not once, but twice. He got those conga line torps into 2 different Kremlins in 2 different spots. I mean,
Yeah, it's beautiful
serious
work.
amounts of ooze.
Beautiful work.
All right,
But a
last
lot of
point
this,
ticking over.
a lot of this came down to the screw up of the death nail there, the destroyers. If you're gonna be smoke, you know what? You gotta be smoke, you know what? Like that's your job, plain and simple, and you always have to be ready to support your team in that job. So
There
with
it goes.
that, congratulations to YESCV for becoming our winner for this game.
My heart is breaking for CV mains everywhere. But unfortunately, they did run the same strat, and that was something that if they're going to get researched, they're going to know what's going on. We did see that the Golden Lion hung off on that 9 line, and they committed. They went. I don't know if they're going to run the same strat here, and CCTV2 gave it an honest, they gave it the respect, right? They
Mm-hmm.
gave it the space to say they might be doing something different, and in case they're doing something different, we're going to be prepared for it. Nope, they're doing it. We're ready for it. They wrap them. And it was just a steady chip down. CCTV2. I mean, they're a Hurricane Clan, pretty sure. Don't we go against them pretty routinely?
Oh yeah, yes they are. So I mean, yeah.
Well, yes, CV is made up of a lot of Hurricane folks too, but it's a little piecemeal from here, there, and everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to do what you can with what you got.
That's correct. So our next game is scheduled for 2:50. We've got 8 minutes. This is exactly the pacing that Raptor and I have been doing, guys. This is getting you, the viewers, the most games possible to watch. So we are going to go to ICOP versus NoCap next. And that's coming soon.tm in just under 8 minutes. What do you guys think?
That'll give me some time.
Oh,
Sorry,
no
go
time.
ahead.
No time. No breaks, my friend. No breaks. We go straight through to this end.
You signed up
Yeah.
for this roller coaster,
I
bud.
did.
That's
I
right, that's
certainly
right.
did. I'm going to
That's
be
right.
giving away a couple of codes. Also, I'm being told that I'm having a drops issue, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get a resync in before things go totally crazy here.
A drops
So-
issue?
Yeah, for some reason, people are saying they're not getting percentage drops. Do they only get it in one channel at a time?
Yes.
Well, yeah, you don't like double up.
Right.
You can't watch 7
Okay,
streams
yeah,
and just be
all right.
like, yeah.
That makes, that makes sense. Okay, so to the fella who had talked to me about it, let's see, Big Barrett, he said the cost percent isn't going up here, it's going up on Zast stream. That would be because you can only earn the progress in one channel at a time, sir. Pretty sure the drops are working on my side. Haven't seen anybody else have the issue with that.
Fair enough.
All right, gonna pull my codes here, and let's see who gets the first 2.
And meanwhile, I'm going to take a look at what's going on here with tournaments. I'm going to refresh the page again to see we have our initial winners for Group A. We saw UWA win. KSE and NACL have won in Group A. My boys Kraken, AR, and Zoe have won in Group B so far. Armada del Sur and Bluff have won in Group C. Group D, Well Done and Finns have won, as well as Salsa. Salsa, that was some interesting games I cast last weekend. In Group E, QQ7 and Fail have both won. Now that's interesting because that's basically 007 is Fail with some friends versus QQ7. And then Group H, we have F4E winning over Cloud9. We don't have many other games that have reported just yet. Remember, it's a staggered start time. Some of these games may have been delayed and they're finishing up. Ooh, doggy. Are you guys feeling the pinch? Are you guys feeling like the push here, or
Yeah, you run a hard bargain, man. I only signed Wisconsin and I up for 5 matches
Well, I
for
mean,
both days. So this is like I am, if I felt rushed last weekend, nah, man, I am busting it in overdrive. I'm sending out codes. I'm trying to get all the stuff up to date. This is crazy,
good,
absolute crazy schedule you keep yourself to. But I'm
good,
loving it. I'm loving
good.
All right.
So,
I don't know if we happen to mention, but it might be worth it because I don't know when I'm being hosted, you're being hosted. That anybody that's being hosted by the World of Worship's channel,
mm,
you able to see what a streamer is doing, see what people in the community are talking about, hearing, etc. But if you're not in one of their channels, you are not getting the drop. So if you happen to find a streamer that really you latch onto them, you grip on, man, I like this casting, I like what they're doing. Definitely hop by into one of their channels so that you can have that drop time ticking. Because I think it's 90 minutes you have to have before you
yes.
can get the COTS drop. It's 90 minutes. So definitely, if you find something that you're enjoying, hop into their channel, stick around for a while. Maybe you can get some kind of cool giveaways, something out of Zath or maybe Golfman. Me, I'm just I'm just playing catch up. So no giveaways for me. Sorry, man. I'm gonna have
Oh,
to do a code explosion at the end of the day. So you can check it out then. All
oh, ladies
right.
and gentlemen, wait for the build-up. It's coming. So, anyways, while we're at it, Ascans, do you have the North Carolina sexy camo?
Sexy camo. What is the sexy
The
camo?
sexy camo. So the sexy camo is the camo that players who complete the King of the Sea collection and then get one additional King of the Sea drop can
Hmm.
earn starting in 10.10.
Really?
Yes. So you get a
It's
special
pretty.
mission, and it's damn sexy. I'm showing it right now on my stream. Take a look and see. I know that Bogsy gave it to me, and Raptor, he might have also given it to you, Askans, as a CC and a streamer. Golfman, I'm not sure. You can check too.
I'll check. I'll check. Let's see.
Let me
But
see.
it is sexy as hell. We've got the skull and crossbones painted on the side. The deck is blood red. It's got these tentacles reaching out for the King of the Sea crown. And then the turrets also have the King of the Sea logo on it. The art department always carries, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Well, I'm going to drop my 8,300,000 credits so that I can repurchase the North Carolina and I can check this out.
How do you
Let
not
me
have it
see.
already?
Well,
I
you have to understand. Oh, I guess I do. I actually do have this. So
Yeah.
I can show this on my thing. But uh so why do I not have the thing? Because the first battleship line I ever played was the American one. Why? Because America. I mean, I'm American, wrong. And when I got to the North Carolina, it's got those AP shells that are like super slower than all the other AP shells in the line or something.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen the iChase video that told me about the dynamic reticle or whatever. So
mm,
I couldn't hit anything with them. And I mean, I couldn't hit anything. So my entire grind through the North Carolina, I am fairly ashamed to admit, was completely with HE shells and nothing else. Unless I was within 6 kilometers of somebody, I felt confident enough that my shell would actually strike their ship. People tell me the guns are OP, but man, I could never make them work. But I'm not a battleship dude, so
as uh,
wrong.
as someone who is a massive lover of his Alabama, I can tell you I love those slow AP shells
Mm.
because here's honestly what I find. You have to give so much lead on those shells that the ship you're shooting at doesn't think that you're shooting at them. The ship in front of them starts maneuvering, and he's like, "Oh my god, this guy's shooting at me," and the shells just take forever. And by the time the guy you're actually firing at figures out what the heck's going on, he's already been dev struck. Like, I love the North Carolina and the Alabama for that reason alone. Unfortunately, the only perma camo I have on the North Carolina is the Halloween event one. I do not have the fancy fancy, but I do want it very, very badly. Please help, Bugsy.
Send help. Send camo. Oh, that's great. So just a reminder, guys, if you are in this for King of the Sea drops, it's one for this weekend once again. So if you get a drop today, then relax because you're set. You don't have to worry about watching. We'd love for you to come back and watch again, of course, but um, but you're done for the weekend in terms of your King of the Sea drops.
Let me see.
Yep.
What is the time for the next one? 3:50, right?
Yeah, it should be 2:50. It should be happening right
Yeah,
now.
it should be
Well,
happening
yeah.
right about now.
Yeah.
I'm East Coast, so I mean,
We're,
They're
we're
just
in
now.
the happy doodle.
Maybe it's under
It
squid.
looks like the QQ7 versus ICOP room is still open. In fact, it just went away, so they're probably making that shift right now.
Yeah, it's possible a team gets delayed. They call a restart, all that good stuff.
let's see. That's which. This Group E is what it is. Group E.
Next map is Islands of Ice, which we saw some interesting stuff last week on Islands of Ice, Wisconsin. I don't know about you, but I don't think we saw a single actual conventional match there that we were expecting.
Okay,
We saw crazy plays of Charlie, all kinds of weird stuff happening. It was very, very interesting. Honestly, I don't want to go
ALF
into analysis.
room ALF.
Alrighty.
There we go. Cool.
I don't want to try and make a call because the convention just seems to be continually defied.
All right.
I am sorry. I was trying to figure out where the room was. I heard you say my name, and then I completely missed everything else.
No worries. I was just saying, like, conventional Islands of Ice play. I don't know how we're gonna see this map go down.
Oh, but that's the hard part when we're trying to get these battles to you guys. Trying to, we spend a lot of time trying to pull this up, and it's for good reason. By the way, ships have been banned, ladies and gentlemen. ICOP has chosen to ban the Moskva, da 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 da, and then nope. I always try to get Oskins to just spit out whatever he's drinking, and I almost got it there.
Yes, you did.
And then the no cap banning Venezia. Cheers, by the way, my dude.
Hey, cheers indeed.
My dudes, I should say, yes. Cheers to you, Golfman.
Cheers indeed. I'm drinking whiskey out of a mug like a classy person.
Oh,
because
me
that is
too.
that is the only container I own. Hey, Zath, I'll take another sip just for that. How about that?
With my logo, of course. This is 4 Roses. Yum yum. It's I like it. I like Makers better, but I bought it, so I have to drink it. So darn, I have to drink whiskey. Guy. Rats.
All right, looks like we're getting things underway here.
Yes.
Game window open. I'm excited.
So I think by our rules of engagement, Golfman's going to be calling the green team.